Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims. A bit of a shorter reading today. We are reading from Book 8, Chapter 9 on page 172. Also, this episode may not be suitable for young ears. Why does this strange phenomenon occur? What causes it? O Lord, in your mercy, give me light to see, for it may be that the answer to my question lies in the secret punishment of man, and in the penitence which casts a deep shadow on the sons of Adam. Why does this strange phenomenon occur? What causes it? The mind gives an order to the body and is at once obeyed, but when it gives an order to itself, it is resisted. The mind commands the hand to move and is so readily obeyed that the order can scarcely be distinguished from its execution. Yet the mind is mind, and the hand is part of the body. But when the mind commands the mind to make an act of will, these two are one and the same, and yet the order is not obeyed. Why does this happen? What is the cause of it? The mind orders itself to make an act of will, and it would not give this order unless it willed to do so. Yet it does not carry out its own command. But it does not fully will to do this thing, and therefore its orders are not fully given. It gives the order only insofar as it wills, and insofar as it does not will, the order is not carried out. For the will commands that an act of will should be made, and it gives this command to itself, not to some other will. The reason, then, why the command is not obeyed is that it is not given with the full will. And if the will were full, it would not command itself to be full, since it would be so already. It is therefore no strange phenomenon partly to will to do something and partly to will not to do it. It is a disease of the mind which does not wholly rise to the heights where it is lifted by the truth because it is weighed down by habit. So there are two wills in us, because neither by itself is the whole will, and each possesses what the other lacks. St. Paul wrote in Romans 7:20, "For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep doing." I think this verse sums up exactly what St. Augustine is describing here today. Remember, he's talking about this inner struggle that he's having. He knows what he needs to do. He knows he needs to give up the sin of lust, and yet it is basically causing a battle within himself. And he's even willing himself to do it, but not wholly. So that's what he's describing here today. Now, as I've stated before, my degrees are in the criminology field, where I specialized in dealing with sexual violence crimes. And I've heard a lot of horrendous stuff in my day. One man in particular came to see me for counseling back when I was counseling victims of sexual violence. And he had such a difficult childhood, and he had been conditioned in some very bad ways. And he wanted help so badly, and you could tell that he was suffering greatly. One day, through sobs, he said, "I know what I need to do to live a good life. I just don't do it. I always get dragged back down into doing bad things." Now, there are people that sin and don't think that what they are doing is wrong in any way. And there are those that sin, that have been committing the same sin for so long that they just don't even think about the rightness or the wrongness of it anymore. And then there are those that know that the sin is wrong, but they are so gripped by it that it has them in chains. They know that they should drop it, but they struggle. They have a very weak will. Well, one thing that makes us stumble is going around near occasions of sin. For St. Augustine, I'm assuming, because he hasn't told us otherwise, that his second mistress lives with him. So he knows that he needs to get rid of the sin of lust But when he goes home, there's his lady friend. Being around her is going to make it really hard to say no, especially when the will is weak, because he hasn't practiced discipline in this area at all yet. I've said this before, but gambling has zero hold on me. I mean, I can walk through casinos in Vegas and feel zero pull to gamble. Now, gambling isn't inherently bad, but for some people, it is a sinful habit and has ruined their lives. So it would not be good for that person to vacation in Vegas. And sure, they could say, oh, I'll just go to see the shows and eat at the fancy restaurants. But the occasions of sin are literally all around, making it very hard for someone who struggles with gambling to excess. If we are going to get serious about stopping sin, one of the first things we have to do is stop going around the thing that makes us sin. If that is hard, you may need to call in an accountability partner to help. The guy I used to counsel had to give up going to certain places, and that was very hard for him, and I don't know if he ever fully succeeded, but I prayed that he did. We will pause here for today, Catholic Pilgrims. See me back here for chapter 10, but until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.